Alright guys, before we begin, let's be honest. My previous video was me essentially biting my words. Okay? I just noticed it. But thanks for the comments, for the suggestions. Shout out to El Shadow Warrior for making an attempt to make strategy games great again. Real-time strategy games great again. Also shout out to the team, the Wildfire Games forums for providing suggestions, comments, everything like that. There's a reason behind why I was so kind of mumbling to myself at that video. It's just because, one, I don't have a room all to myself. I was sharing it with someone else, my brother specifically, and it was in the middle of the night where everyone sounds asleep, everyone's sleeping, and I need to kind of stay quiet for a while, and I can't really enunciate my words as clear as I want, just like now, okay? And if you're hearing background noises, that's also part of my problem. I don't have a decent video editing software yet, because the last one I used messed up the video quality so bad you just can't see anything. So for now I can't sacrifice the video quality for the sake of the audio, so we just have to live with it. But still, thanks for the comments, thanks for the suggestions, and although I did deserve some criticism for it, I'm glad that somehow you didn't. Instead, I got some encouragement to do so. So, before I begin again discussing what the title of the video says, it was talking about these unit classes. I like to point out something I missed. Someone also pointed it out, that I missed this tech, the market tech, commercial treaty. Well, aside from this tech, which gives you a bonus in trading, that means you will be gaining more trading from market to market. You also have this 10% bonus. What this does, it makes trading with your allies even more profitable than trading with yourself, no matter how far your market actually is, your own market. So this tech is another crucial part that makes the market more team oriented. Okay, so let's get to the main tutorial, the unit classes. Zero AD has basically two types, or three types of unit classes. One is support, the second is worker class, and the third is a military class. So essentially the 0 AD units are a mixture of one or two of them, and let's just discuss it. So the support classes are your women, here we are in front of the temple, your priests, who are the healers, and of course the trader, the pure economic units. Okay, somehow the woman here is a mixture of support and worker, typically more known as villagers by the Age of Empires players. They're actually more of a support also. How? It's very easy to miss, but the women have an aura. So you can see here, it's an inspiration arm. Every man that works near it will make here it will they will work harder. For example, if they're mining a stone and they're beside a woman, they will mine the stone even harder. Okay, and take note, this effect does not stack, meaning that one woman can make him work harder, but two women can make him work even harder. Okay, it's only a one aura effect. Kind of fair, right? But that's how it works. So this is a woman, this is the priest, our healer support, and our trader. Now we will move to the more military oriented units, but also there are also a worker class We call them the citizen soldiers, and I can see that this feature, this type of class, throws a lot of Age of Empires players off because they were used to uh, having a villagers around it. Only villagers, only for economy. And when it comes to military units, they're only used for fighting. I can understand that somehow, but for me, I wasn't that much surprised because I actually read the manual before playing this. So I already know that there are some units who are pure economy, like the support ones, and there's a mixture, units that are a mixture of both. It's actually a historical thing. Citizen soldiers are a historical aspect that was incorporated into the game because there was a time. Well, look at the three stages of Rome. In the Roman kingdom, people were used to be farmers, and they will tend their field, chop some wood, gather their own resources, feed their family, and they will go to war when they are called off, which is basically what the game does, right? You build your base, establish your economy, and then go to war. These are the purpose of the units. Okay? It's a historical thing. Even in the Battle of Alesia, the siege, while there was no fighting, Julius Caesar's men were building and gathering food. Okay? Even in somehow I think late Republican Rome or late Empire, when the soldiers were not going to war, they were the ones who were used to build Hadrian's Wall, I think. Somewhere along those lines. But I digress. It's in the gameplay. These guys are used to gather resources as well as become military units. Okay, so we have our range skirmisher, the swordsman, and the triarius. Our veterans, our slow veteran, meaning old. Not surprising, they're slow. Younger, less damage producing people, and the velites. Our skirmishers are even younger, less. Well, this is, I think, an early Republican Rome setup before Marius's reforms, but they work. Okay, that's how they work. The cavalrymen, usually used for scouting for obvious reasons. They're faster and have wider range. Have a subtle work in their hand. They're actually used for hunting food. Okay. So far, that's their only purpose, aside from going to war, sending them to fight. They can hunt food. For the other guys, they can build, they can repair, they can gather resources. You can use them. They're practically multitasking people. Okay? What does this mean? Somehow you have to rethink the way you do raiding if you're an Age of Empires player. Because in Age of Empires, I think you just have to raid the villagers who are practically defenseless, just like the women here. But what if your enemy produced these guys to chop wood? They're the ones who are farming, and you're only sending 3 raiders. You really have to rethink your way to do this, to use your raiding more efficiently, more effectively, and whatnot. Okay? To take note, 0 AD was like Age of Empires because it started to be a mod of it, but now it's nearly a completely different game. It looks visually the same. When I try to play it, it's visually the same, but when it comes to the tactics, strategies, a lot of them are quite different. There are still some things that are inherited by the Age of Empires series, but 0 AD is starting to become its own game. And the citizen soldiers are one of the most unique things that make 0 AD 0 AD. Maybe there are other strategy games with this kind of concept, but this is the first one I have seen. Military and economy built into one unit. That's it. Next, we will deal with the real professionals. Okay, notice how they're, see there, this triangle here, it denotes that they are purely for war. Okay, they don't build, they don't gather. They're the real professional soldiers who deal the real kind of damage. So basically you are using these guys to hold out the line until you can strengthen up to city phase and train these kinds of units. Okay, they deal better damage than these citizen soldiers. So they are, oh, and by the way, these guys have an experience system. The more opponents they hit, the more experience they gain, and the more better their equipment will be. They will be visually different slightly, but they will become stronger than before. And at the cost of being stronger at war, they will be kind of slower doing their jobs in their economy. They will be whining slower once they gain. Alright, come on. It kind of makes sense. When you're going from a farmer, getting more experience from war, and you will have an attitude of, me carry a shovel, work, just like the possible attitude these guys have. I'm a professional. Why should I mine your stone, man? That's how they work. I think in the next alpha, even the heroes, I mean champions. Yeah, these are called the champion units. Our professionals. In the next alpha, I think even these guys will receive experience systems, which is kind of neat. They're trying to balance out the significant differences in damage boost, armor boost with these kind of units. So you will be even hard pressed to decide what are you going to do: mass produce these guys, or hold out until you can produce the bigger, better units. They're trying to weigh it for now. Okay. The next one is, okay, these guys first. These guys can be most of the time, except for several factions, I think these guys will be separated into a siege workshop. These are our mechanical units. They are inorganic. Most of them are siege weapons. I can't really mention anything aside from ships that are mechanical and can be used for siege. Okay, these are our pure military units. Also, you can garrison some people here, support them, and these guys are our range. There's some issue with these things. These are very seldom used because they are a special case units. If you want to produce a real siege battering rams, you need them. Okay, so we have discussed the support classes, the worker classes, the soldier classes, the champion units, and we have here, trying to guard all of his units back and forth, is the champion units. And you can see the star on the ground here. That denotes the champion unit. You can produce only one champion at a time. You can select for in the Roman system you have 3 of them. So far, since it's not even yet the Empire times, there's no Julius Caesar here. We got Scipio Africanus, but this is a unit. It's the strongest unit in the game. Okay, most of them have auras like here. Some of them are not implemented yet, but they're the strongest ones. You will be needing them. I think the hero units do not exist in Age of Empires, but they remind me of battle rounds or something like that. Okay, so this space running out. I gotta cut it short, but okay. So these are your strongest units. Everything. So far I have discussed everybody is here. Every faction has different set of units. There's another type, a mercenary type from Carthage. You can build them from the embassy. They cost metal. These guys only produce food and wood. Well, actually, this one also costs metal, but because it's you have to provide for the sword, right? But mercenary units need metal. You need to pay them metal for them to work. Okay, so I think I have discussed everything here, and okay, if I missed anything out, please leave a comment. If yeah, thanks again for helping me try to improve my voice video recording software. I hope I will get a decent one. And like, comment. Not really planning. Subscribe if you want to. I'm only planning to mature in content. Okay, for now. But of course, until then, bye bye.